Well, hello. This is Dr. Jeffurious Higgason, host of Gonzo Today's Memos from the National Affairs Desk, our weekly news and information program on the web. The title of coordinator and producer of Memos from the National Affairs Desk are designations that I proudly carry with me. Recently, I've been putting them on official forms under occupation. Yes, I know it sounds pretentious, and yes, perhaps a tad self-aggrandizing. I reckon, fuck it. I take my job seriously. Plus, hey, free advertisement. 6 months ago, I submitted a story to an email address looking for authors and artists of all manner. The man on the other end of the address was Mr. Clayton Luce, Gonzo Today's editor-in-chief. The story he received from me was Old Davenport, a silly short story I'd written about unemployment and the death of a theoretical pet. It was published soon thereafter, and like the strike of some thunderbolt of fate, poof, I was in. To me, it seemed like a very Renaissance type of movement, and still does. We continuously surpass ourselves and are constantly progressing. This brilliant collective of writers and photographers and artists, everyone is marvelously talented and each uniquely wacky. It's the kind of people with whom I identify best, you understand? Characters and fantastic kindred spirits. A family. We have no shame in arguing with each other, but ultimately, we walk away arm in arm. We are sweethearts, painters, authors, crazies, musicians, and reincarnated jester-like fools. And I have to tell you, I have a soft spot in my heart for all of them. For I am one of them. Can you guess which one? Go on, have a guess. You're right. You're right. I could never bullshit you, Charlie. Initially, and still to this very second, our goal, message, and mission has been to continue the idea of the splendid force that is Gonzo, the term Bill Cardozo coined in the style of creation that Dr. Hunter S. Thompson pioneered with his writings, and also the method he figuratively taught all of us in the work and art he created. The idea of Gonzo for us at Gonzo Today is producing creative works, be it fiction, news writing, photography, painting, what have you, all in a manner that is completely and utterly in the voice of the whispery soul of the person creating it, captured from their exclusive filter in their mind's eye. And yes, there is a spirituality involved, folks, an alternative immersion into a way of thinking, a way of showing the world your soul through your art. Not echoing, mimicking, and aping the exact style and words of Hunter Thompson, but the idea of making something that no one else can. A way of thanking this man for all that he shared with us, each of us a master of what we create, because it's ours. We are the students of Dr. Hunter Thompson. My old buddy Devin Forth told me years ago that if you play your own music, you can never play it wrong. And it was a simple, enlightening bit of wisdom. Years later, it still sticks with me. It's like Bukowski's notion that each of us are the potential heroes of our own stories. One of many Gonzo Today's driving philosophies has always been to do your work. Submit your work. Let's publish your work. The very literal meaning of the word show us what you got. We hold Gonzo, the true spirit of Gonzo, as existing as something so high that you can't get over it, and dipping so low that you can't get under it. A template that Hunter Thompson taught us. Find your own voice, nail it down, then tell everyone. Art soaked in total substance. Blessed content, and pardon me while I romanticize art that is wholly authentic. Pure. The good. Recently, however, there have been some verbal salvos fired at us on the internet. Hurtful, mean-spirited ugliness, questioning our existence and purpose. The kind of language reeking of the sort of particulates of trash and excrement that scum politicians employ during campaign season. So, what did we do? Our crime? Our shortcoming? Well, and here comes the sarcasm, Charlie. Well, we dare to release new material about Hunter S. Thompson. All by publishing an article concerning one of his friendships. Gonzo Today published an article about one of Hunter Thompson's friends, the writer Kevin Simonson. He shared many wonderful memories of his relationship with Hunter. You know, personally, as a fan of Hunter S. Thompson, I love hearing his friends tell stories about adventures they had with him. I never knew Hunter Thompson. I lived vicariously through these tales. It just seemed like some sort of wild vortex of uncut fun. The kind that you just can't find around here. In the course of putting together the publication for the article, Mr. Simonson was extremely generous in providing us with some photos of him and Hunter that he had taken, various autographed things, faxes that had been sent between himself and Al Farm, a photo of an autographed copy of the book The Gonzo Way, signed by Hunter's widow Anita, with a personal inscription to Sweet Kevin. All fantastic things to share with fans of Gonzo and everything Hunter Thompson. And all of the aforementioned materials are the property of Kevin Simonson. Property, by the way, he has the right to share with whomever he pleases. Material he published in a book. Not long after the Gonzo Today publication, a message shot out on Facebook from Anita and Al Farm concerning possibly ill-gotten Hunter S. Thompson faxes that were published on a Gonzo or something website, and how the site was more or less unaffiliated with Al Farm and the Gonzo Foundation. The message as I read it was vague, perhaps just to quickly clarify to everybody what the situation was as it stood at the moment. Personally, I wasn't offended by the language of the message. In fact, it just sounded like a friendly for your information type of reminder. Nothing inflammatory. Some may disagree with my interpretation of that original message, but the fact is you can't always translate a tone of voice in typed messages. Your mind will insert the tone of voice. Simple black and white typing? Hey, who knows? I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Later on, many of us were choking on our own revelations when it became apparent that the message was indeed a response to the Kevin Simonson article, and it was all sent via alleged spurious communications from an outside antagonizer sent to Al Farm. The fact is, Gonzo Today has repeatedly reached out to Al Farm and Anita Thompson. As it seems, she doesn't want to be affiliated with us at the moment. And again, I don't take offense to that. She has enough shit to juggle. Especially when you have wackos possibly handing off bogus particulars in an effort to win favor. Seriously, if that is true, it's fucking psychotic manipulation at play, and that's, well, it's fucking sick. At best we can figure there is a specific person that is the key agitator, purportedly feeding Al Farm bum information in an effort to stir up shit. I prefer to leave her name out of this little program, not out of fear of reprisal from this lady, but I feel that including her name here, I run the risk of mucking up my little program with the kind of despicable rubbish she is perpetrating. So, I will admit it for the time being. Her group allegedly shares the same goal as Gonzo Today, furthering the spirit of Gonzo through creation of Gonzo art. And hey, we're all on Facebook. Surf on over, look us up. Now, as the piss fermented in the toilet following Anita's announcement from Al Farm, the implications from this person became so ugly that Gonzo Today's editor-in-chief, Clayton Luce, issued a video response. Not to take any kind of defensive stance or issue half-assed threats, but just to simply introduce Gonzo Today officially and discuss just exactly what the mission of Gonzo Today is, our goals, and what the organization was trying to accomplish by asking Kevin Simonson to tell us his story. I felt the video was as simple a message as a simple message could be for the time and circumstances, but most importantly of all, Clayton's message was transparent about our intentions as a non-profit organization. We make no money. Shortly after Gonzo Today published the response from Mr. Luce, this person and her group countered with nothing short of some junior high, asshole-ish attempt to sound cool, especially when it was suggested that Mr. Luce, quote, eat a bag of dicks. Later it was discovered that this woman was rephrasing Louis C.K. when she said that. Uh-oh, now we can talk about stolen intellectual property. That's right, the foot is on the other hand now, lady, and we got your number. Anyway, I refuse to spend too much time talking about this person. Her ego is fed too easily. Seemingly cute and endearing on the outside, right? She gives me the impression of someone who exacts thrills by servicing herself with frozen hot dogs in the porta potty at a high school football game. Whoops! That was a childish cheap shot. But then again, telling somebody to eat a bag of dicks is not exactly the acme of maturity, is it? Is it? I cheerfully apologize and promise to keep it professional from now on. How about it? Let's regroup. To me, Gonzo Today represents the vanguard of the next generation of America's writers, because that is what we are. There's so much shit out there now. You have a gluttonous carnival of homogenized corporate news, network TV, dry-ass commercial radio, plus all those vapid excuses for art and music. At Gonzo Today, we sift out the foolishness and, in fact, give you the good. We present each of our contributors in their own individual light. As a rule, we celebrate them all one by one constantly. My conscience is clean when I say that although I have admired the work of Hunter Thompson for many years, and I can assure anyone that is listening to this that my joining up with Gonzo Today was not because it was an opportunity to read and write a bunch of wacky piffle from the point of view of some lame Hunter Thompson impersonator, and I didn't sign on because I liked the movie of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. No. In fact, I joined up because of the idea was that here we have this collection of thinkers, and I mean, this is real stuff here. Essayists, Victorian era style dissent, promoting ourselves in hopes of perpetuating the style and original spirit of Gonzo and what it's supposed to be. In fact, I recall one of the first lengthy correspondences with Clayton Luce that I made it clear to him that I was not a Hunter Thompson clone, but I promised whatever he got from me would be interesting and would be done from my perspective. He knew exactly what I was talking about, and we reached that understanding early, and that meant a lot to me. What he told me next was it wasn't what he was looking for, and he encouraged me to turn in the purest form of work that I can muster for publication. And he encourages everyone who contributes to do the same thing. A true artist can hardly ask for more. Seriously. Gonzo Today certainly has been a journey for all of us, and we've made some incredible friends along the way, such as Gonzo Today's poetry editor, Ron Whitehead. He's a magnificent, legendary outlaw poet from the hallowed hills of Kentucky, and a friend of Hunter Thompson. I hopefully speak for the others when I say that I feel that Ron has taught us all a great deal of what the true meaning of what Gonzo is, how we can use the power of it, and especially taught us how this up-and-coming generation of artists and writers must carry the torch for future generations. Not in any kind of pretentious way, but as a serious endeavor. The job of preserving the thinking culture, which seems to be fading more and more as these days wear on. Carrying on for that portion of the population that will seek out bookstores not affiliated with a giant corporation. Those out there who still roll their own. Those out there that savor the taste of literary and artistic antiquity. To me, that is a part of the role we play. Ron has made it clear to us exactly what our ultimate task should be, and that no matter what, we should be true to our path and remain focused. In the process of the aforementioned war of words, he introduced us to a concept that in my opinion has been the most powerful of all ideas expressed during that tumultuous moment, the proposal of one Gonzo spirit. The idea that, hey, we're all Gonzo here. I'm of the mind that all sides of this equation focus our collective energy into one Gonzo spirit. A new age of truth, truth in words, and a truth in being. To paraphrase Alan Freed, Gonzo is bigger than all of us. Of course, Alan Freed was talking about the majesty of rock and roll. I could go on about the importance of rock and roll and the legacy of Gonzo, but I think I've made the illustration clear. I personally encourage and invite anyone who wants to know what Gonzo Today is, what we do, or what it's about to please stop by our webpage at gonzotoday.com. And keep an eye out for our coverage of Gonzo Fest 2015 before, during, and after the thing. Thanks for listening to me, Charlie. Could you go downstairs and tell Mama I'm feeling poorly?
I don't know, but I've been told if the horse don't pull, you got to carry the load. I don't know whose back's that strong. Maybe find out before too long. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to end. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to end. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to end.